C. I'm up here on the roof, got the snow off, but I don't want to fall, so I got my safety harness on. And I want to shovel the roof off because this is the wettest snow we've ever had. And it's never snowed so much here in Colorado. This is from my neighbor. And I know what shape the rafters are in this house because I've been up on this roof before. And I told her I would rather do this out of abundance of caution than to wake up and see that her roof is snapping. There's one rafter that's got broken in this roof before. So I don't want to have domino effect. Get up here and be proactive. And I'm not doing this on my own house because I'll show you. I've already gone through and reinforced the rafters at my house, so it's not necessary at my house. For these other houses, these older houses, especially ones that have multiple layers of roofing and plywood on, I think this is necessary. So, Mary Jane's getting cold. He's going to take the camera around and show you how I got it tied off. Then he's going to go around and show you my roof. And then I'll talk later and show you more pictures. That's what JJ.
Okay, so I may have led you to believe that this was the most snow that's ever fell in Colorado. I don't know how much you heard, or I think what I was trying to say is this is the most snow we've had this early since we've been here in Colorado. So he's going to go around and show you how I've got tied off, and you can get a look at how much snow is on the ground. This might not be much for you northerners in Alaska or Minnesota or wherever, but for us here in Colorado, this is a big deal. Okay, so look, this is how big the snowstorm is. November 8th, 2024. Record snow. Colorado region, it hasn't seen this much to date snowpack since at least 1992. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. And we've been shoveling out, but it just keeps snowing, and this is a wet, heavy snow. So I'm up on the roof. I'm tied off my neighbor's roof. I'm afraid that it's going to collapse, as I've stated. Maybe it won't collapse, but if I didn't say anything and then it did collapse, then I would feel bad. So I thought, well, I'll just offer to shovel her roof off. I'm not shoveling my roof off because, as you'll see, I've reinforced it. Part of it's new construction and part of it I reinforced, okay? So if you've been following my channel, then you've seen the rain gutter video and you've seen all around the house what it looks like. But today I'm going to show you, we're going to go back to 2017, 2018, 2019, and we're going to show you what I had to do to get my roof where it's not going to collapse under these heavy snowstorms. All right. But before I do that, let me show you the pictures I have of my first house. This was in Provo, Utah. And when I bought this house back in 2006, I knew the roof was in bad shape, but this is the only thing I could afford. Okay. Uh, you really can't tell here because it's not a super close up photo. These are just old photos I have. I don't have the house anymore. But this is what it looked like before. And this was like some kind of addition. And it just wasn't framed right. The roof lines weren't right. And then the rafters were just like you have in these old houses, just like a 2x4, like a 16-foot 2x4. And then, you have multiple layers of roofing on top of that. So it's just weakening your rafters. And when I went back to Provo, the goal was, well, let's get this house sold because I needed money for the new addition here in Colorado. Well, I'm not the kind that'll just go and paper over all the problems, wallpaper over it, put a new coat of paint on it and sell it and then just sell all the problems to the new owner. If you've had your house flipped, well, maybe that's what they did. Maybe they didn't go through and address the structural issues. And If they say new roof, maybe they just slapped shingles over the old shingles and that's all you have. Well, what I did here, and if you've watched the video to this point, then the case I'm trying to make is that, don't be afraid to go through and rip off the roof and reframe it. So what I did is I stripped it. I stripped it down. I don't mean I just take the shingles down. I cut off all the roof decking, and I stripped it down to the rafters. And if you can look closely here, you see these little 2x4 rafters. That's all it was. It's not a big span here, but it just wasn't framed right. It wasn't planing. And I had been working in construction for quite a few years, but they just do trusses. So these older roofs, they're not truss, they're rafters. And so they're more prone to caving in when you get these big heavy snowfalls. And I knew that. So I got up there and I stripped the roof down. I put new rafters in next to the old ones. This was the best I could do at the time. I would have liked to just completely put new trusses, strip the roof on and put new trusses, but once you're relying on the truss company and you don't know how long it's going to take and you don't know how long you got your roof open and you don't know when it's going to rain again, this is the best I could do at the time, which is way better than it ever was. And we did have a fiasco where the electrical fell off the house because I didn't explain very well to the guys that were helping me, like, hey, don't take these boards off. That's the only thing holding the electrical service up. So then I had to put a brace down to the yard and hold that up. Well, I got the roof sheeted, but then I knew I had to just replace that. So later, here's what it turned out to. Then I went through all the painstaking work of moving that from here to here. And it took me a long time because I was just learning about electricity, just doing the DIY research and reading my books and everything. But still, I got that in. And then I went around and put new soffit lights in because now I have a good, decent soffit where it's actually functional. Okay. I didn't have time to do rain gutters on this house, but you've seen the rain gutters I did on my house. So let's go through and show you. So now I got some decent fascia and got the new shingles on, new roof decking. This is what it looks like. Okay. So it's certainly worth the effort. Now, this is the roof I did at my house. You've seen me doing the addition over the years, and so the plan was I need to add on to this house because this is just an old, crappy, small house built like in 1920 or whatever. And I knew the roof was bad, and I wanted to have a nice, strong roof like I got here. I think my new rafters in my sunroom are 2x8 or 2x10. I don't remember. I just don't remember what they are, but so I wanted my old roof to look like this roof. So see, I got it all framed in. Normally you do trusses, but I did some things in the ceiling where I got a tray ceiling, and plus, again, like I say, I can't just build trusses. I'm not an engineer, but I can just frame the roof in. I can just cut it in with the rafters like you did in old school. And so I was able to frame this. This is a one-man job right here. Okay. And if you have an old crappy roof like I do, like I did, and you want to reinforce it, well, you see me here where I go through and I cut all the roof out. I cut all that shingles out. I don't sit there and strip the shingles. I just checkerboard it. I take and I cut the roof like a checkerboard, and then I just throw the pieces off piece by piece. Okay. And then it looks like this. Then you have your attic all open and exposed. And you see somebody's come in here and tried to brace this up, but it's not adequate. Come on, like, stop messing around. Get up in there and put new rafters in. Okay. So I don't have pictures of the new rafters I put in here, but you can see what kind of bad shape these are in. And when you go to tear the roof off, sometimes the rafters just start exploding and you just leave them up there. But then when you come and put your sister rafters in, See that? That's what I do. I put my sister rafters in, and then I'm able to put the rafters to the string line so I have a nice straight fascia and I got a nice straight peak up here. Okay. I wish I would have been YouTubing back in 2019 when I did all this, but I wasn't YouTubing back then. So then this is, later you get all the roof sheeted, get all the underlayment on. And this is my roof lines now. You see that? That's a straight, proper, common, straight roof line. Okay. And you see that? Now I'm able to tie my sunroom into the old house, and it's all got all the valleys like it should. And then clear back here, this is when I didn't have the upper addition framed, but uh, that's how the roof turned out. Just straight, strong, solid. And I know it's solid because I'm up there jumping around on it and it's not doing the trampoline. Well, my neighbor's roof was kind of doing the trampoline thing, and I'm not gonna do that in my house. So, should you shovel your roof off? Well, you want to keep it from collapsing. Yeah, you probably should. All right, well, I think that's enough on the roof video. Thank you for watching.